me my peace, and God showed me so much better. And guess what? Maybe you felt that too. I'm not going to be dramatic here, but, falling apart kind of way, but in the quiet exhaustion, the kind where you're doing everything you're supposed to do and still ending the day drained. Guess what? You love God, you love your kids, you're trying to do all of the right things, but somehow motherhood just feels a little bit heavier than expected. And if that's you, I want you to stay with me because today isn't about doing more. It's about letting God lead instead of pushing yourself harder. And so I want to talk, honestly about this idea of supermom. We're going to trade supermom for spirit led mom. So, supermom is the mom who never drops the ball. You keep everyone else regulated, of course, except yourself. You handle the work, home, faith, emotions, and somehow does it with a smile. And let me tell you the tricky part. Supermom doesn't usually come from pride. It comes from just, having so much responsibility, from caring deeply, from wanting to do right by everyone. But here's what I want to see again and again in your conversations, comments, and even in faith-based mom spaces. Guess what? I know you're exhausted because you do feel this personally. This responsibility, it's a lot. And you're trying to hold everything together. So it's just not physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And when something slips, guess what? The guilt hits you hard. Thank you so much for walking along with me. And so I want you to think about that mindset that slowly leads to burnout, because this super mom thinking, you know what this does? It just says if you try harder, you'll find peace. But that's not true. The scripture says something very different. I want you to listen to this. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9. That verse changes everything, because God doesn't say my grace kicks in once you've done your part. Who out there is doing too much? I want you to drop me a comment and let me know. He says that his power shows up in weakness. Hi, Void. How are you? But it's not after you prove yourself. It's not after you push yourself through. But guess what? In your weakness. So you're in the right place where you admit, I cannot do this on my own. And that's the moment many times moms miss, because we confess weakness with failure. So let me tell you about the real issue here, Void. Okay? A lot of us are just tired. We're controlling because we're scared. Scared that if we don't manage everything, guess what? Something's going to fall apart. But scripture is inviting us into a different posture. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. You remember that Proverbs 3, 5-6. Did you notice what it said? It didn't say figure it all out, then trust God. Do not lean on your own understanding. Void, have you been leaning on your own understanding? Let me tell you, for mothers, that is hard because we're trained to anticipate, prepare, and manage. And if you're out there just managing, I need you to just loose it, okay? Just get rid of all of that baggage you've been carrying, because you cannot be everything to everyone, right? And so as much as we're great managers, don't get into that loop. But the spirit-led mother begins when trust replaces control. Moms, people tend to think of us as control freaks, but guess what? The spirit-led mother actually looks like, it's not a loud faith, it's not perfection, it's not having all the answers. You're spirit-led, right, in your motherhood, because you wake up and you say, God, I need you to guide me today. It's that place where you just let go and you pause before you actually react. It's choosing peace over proving. What do you have to prove when you get up, right? What are you actually proving? So it's letting God shape your responses, right? Those wonderful responses. It's not pressure. I want you to walk by the Spirit, right? And you will not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Galatians 5:16. And when we're walking in that Spirit-led motherhood, there's so many things that we can bypass. And just remember that the word walk matters. Walking is steady. Walking is intentional. Thank you so much for the likes. Walking means you're led, not rushed. And remember, Elliot, yes. Remember that walking is your way of life. We walk in the Spirit, right? And we do not war after the flesh. So this is why we let go in motherhood. And we don't try to control everything. So how do we begin trading Supermom for Spirit-led this week? We're going to make some shifts, of course. So I want you to ask yourself, what are you carrying that God never asked you to? And I want you to pause before you continue. So when you feel the urge to force, pause and pray instead. That's what I did this morning. I said, Lord, I cannot do this all on my own. I need you. There's just so much to manage, to handle. And, just think about it. There's just so much going on. We can't do it all on our own. Let grace lead, not guilt, not expectations, and definitely not comparison. So yes, Elliot, Jesus is watching. And so, hey, Gopal, how are you? If you've been tired, you're overwhelmed, or you're quietly asking God for peace again, I want you to know that this is your reminder. You were never meant to do motherhood alone. God's grace isn't waiting for you to become super mom. It is absolutely available right now. And so, Gopal, yes, I am doing very well. Thank you so much for being on here. And I am talking about trading Supermom for Spirit-led mom. And I just want you to know that it's your time to let go and let God have his way. Ask the Lord to guide you. Every day that you get up, pray first and ask for his direction. Because you know what? The Lord can keep you. He never meant for you to do it all alone. This is why so many moms, they burn out. I mean, when I talk about burnout, I mean burn out. Wow. And burnout is real. It really is a real thing. So many moms burn out. And then we wonder why. It's because we're trying to do everything. We cannot be everything to everyone. If this actually spoke to you, I'd love to know, where do you feel the most pressure to be everything? Where do you feel the most pressure to be everything? I just want to let you know that you're not behind and you're being invited into something better. It's time for you to actually and really let go and definitely let God have his way. And if this really ministered to you, I want you to drop a comment and just let me know. Where are you being led to let go? What do you need to let go of today? I love you. I love you. I love you. And thank you so much for being out here with me today.